Hello everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 11. My name is Micah and today we'll be flying the Cessna Citation 510 Mustang. I've already done a first look at this aircraft. It's a beautiful little aircraft. Since then it's been updated and I want to go ahead and show you guys the updated version, fixing a lot of the issues that we had in the first version. Let's go ahead and get inside the cockpit today and we'll see what we have. So we got cold and dark startup like we normally would do. Below us here, we have our menu, which is like a little binder thing. And inside of this, we have a couple different changes that you might have noticed. They fixed the GPU issue, where GPU does spawn now, even when there's winds at ground level. Exterior doors do work. If we pop outside here, you'll see that if we open the front door opens up and it animates out and everything like that. All of the doors do animate, even the emergency exits. So you got a nice, just a nice overall aircraft here with regards to doors and how they operate and stuff. So we're going to close all those up because we won't need them open today. Let's close that out. Weight balance manager is still the same, and so is the checklist. It is still available for everyone. Everything else works great and brilliant, so we'll be using this and we'll be doing a startup procedure here and we'll be getting out of here momentarily. All right, we got our flight plan here and we're going to be putting all the information here. On the fuel weight, what we're going to do is make sure that we are as much fuel as they want. I will say this in SimBrief, it does seem like they add too much fuel. It seems like you're basically always filling up, but just to be safe, I'm going to abide by what SimBrief says here. That's close enough. They want 991, so bring that up, 984. So almost totally full here, so we'll leave it as such. And we're not going to put any cargo in or anything like that. We'll leave it as it is. So with that in, we can go ahead and start our checklist here. Make this larger so you all can see it. Actually, before I want to move this yoke out of the way. Fantastic. All right, so let's start off by getting all of this working. So left generator. Why is it not? There we go. Just got to do it very easy. If you do it fast, apparently it switches back down. Interesting. Battery comes on. Standby instruments should be in the opposition they are. That's battery test, and that's off. Yes. Parking brake is set. Avionics power on. Retest switch. Okay, that's checked. Fuel quantity is checked. Avionics flight plans. We're going to do this, and we'll go ahead and bring up our flight plan. Now, the change here, you'll notice, is I need to be able to see that. There we go. It controls the MFD, and they fixed some of the issues in regards to this system, and I've learned it more as well. We're going to go ahead and go in here, and we're going to clear out everything. Clear it out so that I can program the new. All right, so we're going to go down, and we're going to type in our next waypoint, which is going to be looking for Alpha, Bravo, Echo. I said Ecker. Bravo, Echo, Romeo. Echo, and then I don't want to zoom in. I want this to switch to Romeo. Exactly. And we'll enter that. And then after that, we're going direct to deeds. So we go to D. Large one to switch over. E. E. D, and then instead of A, it needs to be an S, deeds. and enter and complete that. And then we go straight to Miami. There's K, M, I, A. Enter that. Now, one thing you'll notice is that there's altitude right here on the right side. And if you're wanting to use this in a VNAV type situation, you need to make sure you're entering in the actual altitudes they want you to fly at. Now, it's having me as a cruising altitude of 13,000 feet. That's pretty shallow. I know this is about a hour-long flight, so I'm actually going to disregard that cruising altitude, and I'm going to actually increase it. I'm going to increase it to, let's say, 21,000 feet. So at deeds, I want to be at 21,000 feet. So I'll just scroll this up until I reach 21,000. Like so. And enter that. Besides the others, I'm going to leave the others off. I just want to be at deeds, I want to be at 21,000. Now, to bring up procedures from Miami, bring up procedures, we can select our arrival, our approach. We don't have an arrival, but we do have an approach that we'll be using. We'll be using ILS 08 right. And we will use vectors. Minimums, we're going to go to barometric here. We'll pull up Avitab and pull up Miami. And we'll look at what the barometric pressure requirements are for ILS 8 right for their 450. Okay, so we'll go in here, switch over to the feet, and again, scrolling it up to 450 and hitting enter. And we're going to load it, but we're not going to activate it. All right, we can get rid of this now. So our flight plan is loaded, pretty much. It's ready to go. One thing to note, though, if you don't remove the originating airport, KMKY, which is Marco Island, if we don't remove this, then it actually causes problems, I've noticed, with the flight plan. So, and then you want to make sure you go direct to Amber, and we'll activate that. I'm not sure why that is the case, but it is. I guess it's because you don't have departure or something in it. But I think that's just a G1000 thing in general. I'm still learning the G1000, so you'll have to bear with me on that. Okay, so that is done. We're going to go ahead and go back to lower here and continue on. Left and right ignitions are in the normal position, which they are right here, and they are in the normal position. Left and right fuel boost switches, they are in normal. Pilot mic switch headset, it is in headset. Wing stabilization de-ice as required, not needed. Pilot static switch reset, then off. Reset, then off. Landing gear handle is down. Anti-skid switch is on. On, and pack safety switches are off right now. Exterior lighting as required, don't need any at the time. Air conditioning switch is off. Yes, it is. Air conditioning source should be both. Pressure continue switch is normal, and cab depth switch is normal. Copilot is on headset. Oxygen supply is armed, and throttles are cut off. Engine sync switch is normal. Let's make sure that is the case. That's it right there, and yes, it's in normal. And auxiliary gear is stowed. Okay, so engine start. So we've done our pre-flight. We've done wheel chocks have been removed. Doors are closed. Beacon light can come on. Air conditioning switch is still in the off position. ECAS check. We do have two, but those will be fixed here shortly. Battery voltage check. Making sure our battery volts are good. Yes. Engine start button press. So if we go with the right engine first. We can hear it spooling up. And we've got enough. We're going to push this up to idle. And engine number 2 should be running here. All right. Engine number 1. Increase fuel flow. Alrighty, that is set. So starting is complete. Before taxi checklist, exterior lights as required. We're going to put on our taxi light and our navigational light. Sorry, anti-collision light. And let's see here. Windshield anti-ice is not required. Passengers go to seatbelt. Come on. There we go. Seatbelt. Flap set, which is just one down. Elevator trim, check and set. Flight controls are free and correct. Altimeter set. What is the altimeter today? It is, nope. There we go. 3001. So we'll set that right here. 3001. Verify standby instruments are the same. Cast messages check. We do have one for pilot static. We can go and turn that on. Parking brake release. And we should be able to start moving here. There we go. One of the biggest changes in this aircraft, besides some of the minor bug fixes, is they changed the performance of the aircraft at low levels to decrease the performance to match more of the real-world aircraft. So you'll see that on our climb out, that our performance is going to be slightly different. In the Cessna Citation, what you're looking for under climb out is approximately 200 knots as on your climb. So we'll shoot for about that on our climb out. And climb up to our cruising altitude. We are, of course, in the Marco Island scenery. I can't remember who created it, but it's pretty good, honestly. It is a really well done scenery. It doesn't take much to actually make it work. There's a couple of libraries you got to install. I actually had most of them already installed, so it's been very nice to have this aircraft. Marco Island traffic, Cessna Citation 510. We back taxiing on runway 17 for takeoff to the east. Marco traffic. Make sure my transponder is set here. We'll just make up a code and then we'll do stopped here on the runway. Keep moving here to Alt. Come on, let's move. Safety's coming all the way on. Landing's coming all the way on. Turning up my lights all the way. Switch nav. Altitude select. I forgot to do that. $21,000. Alrighty. Marco traffic, Cessna Citation 510. Taking off runway 17. The departure to the east. Marco traffic. Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Yeah, I'm skirting all over the runway here. Come on, there we go. Got a little bit of crosswind coming in, that's why I'm getting blown to the left here. Gear comes up. Gonna start making our turn here. Flaps coming up. You'll notice that the speed I'm on climb detent now, so I'm shooting for about 200 knots on the climb out. Going to turn on autopilot on. And we'll adjust our vertical speed here. We are approaching our cruising altitude now of 21,000 feet. We're just now passing 2,000 feet. We can go ahead and change our barometric pressure back to standard, 29.92. Once we get up at our cruising altitude, we're going to turn off the fasten seatbelt signs, and then we will shortly be descending here. Won't be too much of a cruising in this flight, but that's no big deal. It's kind of what we expect. It's a short flight from Marco Island to Miami. Less than an hour from takeoff to touchdown. You'll notice our speed is climbing now that we have leveled out. And it'll continue to climb till its approximate cruising speed, which if we look down here, we'll notice you have a climb detent and a cruising detent. So we'll bring it down to the cruise, and we'll let it fly as fast as it wants to with the cruising detent, as fast as it can. We'll start our descent here shortly, probably approximately 40 miles or so from the airport. We'll start our descent, and we're about 42 now, so we're really close to being on that descent now. And that's just so we have a nice gradual descent. It varies depending on how high you are, depends on how fast you descend. So we'll descend at a nice gradual pace. I prefer nice gradual descents rather than rocketing down. So to descend in this aircraft, there is no quote-unquote vertical navigation on the way down. That is not really an option here. Even though there is a VNav button, I've clicked it, I've tried it, and I've not gotten it to work, so I'm not sure if I'm not programming it properly or what have you, but I've not had any success with it. I'm going to go ahead and select the approach, and we're going to activate that. If we go into procedures here, you actually see that it says activate approach, enter, and now we've activated the approach. And that's just to get us into the ILS approach into the airport. Heading to Cobra, which is in 25 miles. Now if we bring up our Avi tab here, we'll check out where we need to be at Cobra. We need to be at 3,000 feet, so we set this to 3,000. Now on descent, there's two ways you can do it. You can do a flight level change, or you can do vertical speed. I prefer vertical speed. That's just my preference. It's just a more gradual way of descending, in my opinion. I am going to reduce the aircraft's throttle to idle. So that we have a nice, economical, efficient descent here. We're going to check out Miami's altimeter. 3004. Be prepared to change our altimeter here. Just adding to that vertical speed to bring us down faster. If we have to, we can always do a circular descent. And probably what we're going to have to do here. Well, we may not have to. We may be okay. I should have descended when I said originally is descending instead of explaining how I was going to, but it's okay. Past 10,000 feet, landing lights come on. All right, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll have to do any type of turning descents here. Start easing off that descent here. No reason to be too much down, pitch down here. There we go. We got the altitude constraint now. We're going to switch over now to our ILS. And we're waiting for that capture here. And this is one of the big things that was changed in the update. The ILS now does work properly. It's not capturing the glide slope. I think I was a little high. On the glide slope thing, so I'm pushing my nose down here. Oh, you know what? It's because I didn't select the approach button. Yeah, that would probably why it did not actually follow the glide slope. You gotta hit that APR button for the approach. Like I said, still learning the G1000 suite. Pretty much this is the first time I've been using them here in the Cessna Citation Mustang. I have started using them in the Cessna 172 as well to try to get familiar with it. But like I said, not first time, but new to the G1000 suite. Flaps down 1. Increase the throttle a little bit to adjust for the drag. Five miles out, gears coming down. Some frame issues. There we go, smoothed out there. Flaps come to landing. Again, adjusting for that drag. For our final approach speed, you're looking for about 110 knots-ish. I don't know the actual requirements here in the aircraft, but I've been successful with about 110 knots. All right, we passed our minimums, so we'll go ahead and disconnect the AP, and we'll manually fly it the rest of the way. Kill throttle. And flare it. Nice and easy. All the way down. There we go. And speed brakes out. And we're just going to let it roll itself to a stop. And the reason to add brakes, I got such a long runway to use. And no traffic. Now we'll start adding just a tad of brakes here at the end. Like so. Speed brakes coming up, flaps coming up. Landing lights going to taxi. Transponder going to alt. Flight director can come completely off. Yaw dampener can come off as well. And we'll pull off the roadway here, and then we'll get a shot of this landing. See how we did. Not the best I've done in the aircraft, but not too bad either. Come on. You have to be careful on the taxi. Your aircraft will stop relatively fast without any brakes being applied. So keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it showed you guys a little bit more about the aircraft, and hopefully showed you that the issues that were previously cited have been pretty much addressed. Just some minor other things that they're looking at adding and fixing. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you guys up in the sky.